Hello, welcome to part 3 of my attempts at mandalas. I feel like I'm getting better, so this one is probably my best so far, so I'm excited to share it with you today. This shirt is a size small, so it's a little bit easier to work with. That might be part of why it turned out better, but nonetheless, I'm doing the sleeve and sleeve method here so that the mandala will be on the front and the back. Stay tuned for my next one, my 4th attempt. I did it where it's just on the one side, and so you can kind of see the differences in those. But anyway, so here I'm just making sure that it's folded in half, and I have a video I will link of this process slowed down for you if that was just confusing and a little bit too fast for you. Here I'm just trying to smooth out as best I can because especially with these mandalas, you want them pretty symmetrical. So there I'm folding it up into a quarter, like right about the armpit. I probably could have gone a little bit higher on this one, but that's okay. And then I'm folding it like an airplane fold here. I just want to get out in front of this really quick as I'm doing this. My 4-year-old came in and was turning the lights on and off, but I had already started and I couldn't stop. So the lights are going to go on and off here. The temperature is going to get warm and then cool, and you're going to see all sorts of new settings on my lighting. So anyway, that's what's about to happen. Just want to get out in front of that. All right, so I only did 3 diagonals on this one because, like I said, this was a size small shirt. So it really is a more simple looking mandala, but it turned out really cool. So here again, like I've said in the last 2 videos, this little starting point is my hardest. If anybody has any tips, if anybody is like a mandala expert, how do we get this first little zig to be on a diagonal and not a straight line? That's my question. I will say I have learned, because I've been doing this more and more, how to get the sections to be closer together. So here, okay, so I wrapped that about 4 times and then I pulled it tight until I could feel it tighten up. And then I wrapped it 2 more times and I pulled it tight. And then there I wrapped it 3 more times and I'm pulling it tight again. I really just wanted the sinew to keep that white space so the color didn't run through it. So anyway, and then I like to go under the bottom there. You can see to go under the bottom to find that other diagonal. That is how I've been able to get it the best. If you try to go over the top, it just doesn't work as well from what I've been able to figure out. And here I am pulling the sinew tight again as best I can. And I wrapped it around again, tried to pull it tight. In this one, you'll see my final result. It's probably the best I did in terms of the sinew lines, but I think it might be because of the washout process I did, where after the ice had melted, I put it in some hot water. So that might be part of it too. Again, all these different attempts were all done just a little bit differently, and that was on purpose so that I could kind of see the differences that happened. Here's where my 4-year-old comes in. Unplugging and plugging in my light. All right. So another thing you can see there is on that line I drew with my washable marker, I did not really follow that for that final tie. And that was just because I could not get it to line up. And so I was like, whatever, I'm just going to make it smaller. And then I also decided, since I couldn't get that one to line up, that I would add an extra zig on my zags. So here is what I'm doing with that. And then I just cut that sinew and put it in a gutter. And then the first color I used was Phoenix Flame. So for this one, I did a completely different color in the mandala area than I did on the outside area. And I hoped that maybe that would make the circular area pop out a little bit more. So I'm doing dye under ice for the mandala part. Phoenix Flame is one of my favorite colors. And then I did Alchemist for the exterior part. This is like a blue and purple splitting color. That's really cool. And then I added my ice on top, and I put a pool noodle in the bottom. You can't see it there, but I put a pool noodle in the bottom so that the fabric won't slide down into itself, and it kind of holds the ice in place as well. I like to put just a little bit of ice on, and then I set it up in a tote on an incline, and then I add more ice after I've set it up on the incline, just so that it holds a little bit better. Alright, and here's the final result. I missed the rinse out process on this one, but I put it in a hot pot of water and I let the dye sit, and then I pulled it out and rinsed it out in my usual rinse out. But so this one was rinsed out a little bit differently. That's kind of why it ended up looking a little bit starker on the lines, I think. But anyway, follow along for more. We'll talk to you soon.